infant class captures the amount of effectiveness of teachers' use of language stimulation and language facilitation techniques to encourage infants' early language development. And our three things we look for within early language support are what we call teacher talk, communication support, and communication extension. And when we think about what this looks like in an infant setting, we see teachers who are describing their own and their infant's actions during activities and routines. So the teacher might say, I'm putting the music on, and then the children start to dance, and the teacher might say, you're dancing and waving your arms to the music. We see teachers who regularly label items and comments on what's happening in the classroom. You're reaching for the ball. Jeremiah is banging on the drum. We're sitting down to have our snack. Because remember, infants are born with the capacity to learn language, but they need to hear lots and lots of language for that vocabulary to really soar, which it does in the early years. We also want teachers to frequently encourage infants to verbalize by initiating sounds and words with infants or imitating sounds that infants make. So, a child may look at something like a ball, and the teacher might go, ball, that's a ball. Or a teacher or a child might say, ma, 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 and the teacher might say, do you see mama? So something to give them that intentionality around that communication. And then just using lots of descriptive language to extend infants' communicative attempts. Infants don't give us full word sentences, and so we really need to help them understand that when they are grunting and gesturing and making these initial sounds, that they have some meaning, and we attribute that to it. I like this particular slide, thinking about the serve and return, that back and forth exchange of communication, because I'm looking at this little girl and her tongue's sticking out. And maybe she's sticking out her tongue, but maybe she's blowing a raspberry. But if you look at the teacher, looks like she's sticking her tongue out too. So this child is already learning about what a back and forth exchange looks like. So toddler class, the definition is the same. We're supporting language use, repeating and extending what kids say, because toddlers are certainly more verbal. We use self and parallel talk, which means that we're describing, or teachers are describing their own actions and the actions of the children, and then also advanced language. And so when we think about encouraging language use, we are encouraging kids to talk. When they have a problem with another child, the teacher might say, use your words. Or if a little boy is standing next to a little girl who's playing with something, and the teacher can tell he wants to play, the teacher can say play, please, to encourage that language. If kids point to something, tell them what it is. I mentioned the repeating and extending already. I mentioned the describing and narrating the actions. And then using complete sentences, just very rich descriptive language, are all things that are really important in that toddler classroom.